Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Selflish podcast, where we promote self-love and self-care, all while extending similar virtues towards others. I'm your host, Luke Wynn. I got my cousin, Sir Gregory, with me today.
Why, hello out there in social media land.
How you doing today, bro?
Oh, well, just living. God is good. Blessed to be alive, brother.
Brother Malcolm. You hear his laugh, yo? Hey, have you seen Power?
Yeah, of course.
You got that Governor Tate laugh, bro.
Heck no. Lorenz Tate, brother.
Yes, bro. He killed that role.
He did, though.
That was my dude. That whole time, this dude was like.
To be honest with you, I haven't even seen it. I'm up to. I guess majority of the season. I'm not up to the newest season though.
You haven't seen season 6 yet?
No. So where they killed him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where.
Why not?
I don't know, bro. I just
kind
of no. It's just that other shows caught my interest. You know what I'm saying? There's some really good shows out there.
Like what?
Well, Insecure is a really dope one.
I like that.
Honestly, I started watching
Everything Black.
Everything Black. Everything Black. But another show. What else was I watching? Ozark. I started watching Ozark, which was a crazy show. So that's not all black.
Yeah, that's not at all.
At all.
That's like America.
But then what other show was I think I don't even remember what it was, but yeah. I stopped watching it for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, you should definitely finish it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. I really feel like Power's like they have just such strong characters.
Yeah.
You know, like they're doing all these spinoffs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But every single character was so strong. It's like it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched Breaking Bad, and there's one.
Oh yeah, Breaking Bad.
Bad was cool, but it's just like I like Saul Goodman, so they did that spinoff show. But not every character do you want to continue following.
That's true.
Plus, it's white people in Albuquerque.
Yeah, yes. You want to know? I stopped watching that, bro. Better Call Saul, because it was too slow.
I stopped. I watched the first 15 minutes. I was like, I don't know.
The first 15 minutes. I watched a few episodes. I did. I watched a few, and then it was just like getting too slow for me. So I just kind of, just stopped watching it. To be honest with you. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm out of let me see. Let me just scoot over.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Auntie Pat keeps calling me. Love you, Auntie Pat. I'm gonna hit you up after this. All right.
There must be a reason.
Oh, she just want me to help her do something for her service.
Yeah,
so she's freaking out. Hey, tell us about yourself, bro.
Well, my name is Greg Morrison. I am a Capricorn. I like to take long walks on the beach. And no, I'm just playing. Honestly, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. I work at a bank. I won't tell you which one because I'll probably get in trouble. That's pretty much it. Got my degree at Sac State in communications. Worked in that field for a while, dealing with celebrities. Then I deal with some Fortune 500 companies in Seal Beach. But yeah, I'm in the financial industry trying to, tell all my black people to start purchasing homes because that's how come gentrification's happening. Yeah. If you own your property, you can't get kicked out of it. And then also, telling black people to invest in life insurance because nobody wants to do a GoFundMe or a, car wash, Takes about $10,000 to put you in the ground, and if you raise about $4,000, you still need $6,000 at least. So that's pretty much what I talk to a lot of people about, how to build credit and stuff like that.
That's dope. And he's a model, by the way.
Oh yeah,
he's all humble and stuff like that.
Sometimes
he ain't always been this educated.
I know,
huh? No, that's dope though, bro.
Yeah.
And I think pushing. So I think when it comes to gentrification, a lot of people don't realize really what's going on because we see it as other people outside of our communities are taking what we have, but if you never really seek to invest and purchase anything, what do you get?
Exactly.
Kendrick Lamar, he said that when he got signed and he got put on, and he was making money, he said, "Mom, I'm buying you a house." And she was like, "You gonna mess my Section 8 up?" But you see that mentality that we have which is okay. Let me just stay here paying $60 a month for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
And it's you're comfortable, you stay in there, but you got to at some point really put money into it.
Most definitely. And that's so true because it's it's a mindset, bro, but it's embedded in us so deep. That's how come people, prime example, I didn't even realize that Jesus wasn't even black.
Right?
are of a color. You feel what I'm saying? Because growing up, you see a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. Even in the Mexican culture, on the candles, my dude, it's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man. When you can go in Revelations chapter 1, verse 14 through 15, and it tells you that Jesus had hair like wool, and it was white. His eyes was of red like a burning fire, and his toe, or his feet rather, was a bronze burnt into a furnace. So those are totally not, what the characteristics of what Jesus is represented, but it just goes to show you that the one that writes history, right? The one that has pretty much is the one that has
whoever has the power,
pretty much creates the history. You know what I'm saying? And like we were kings in Africa. We were sold by Africans. Realistically to these white people, and we were brought here to work. And what's crazy is, a lot of people have gotten reparations, as far as, the Native Americans,
Jewish people.
Dude, do you not even know Japanese Americans? Did you know about that?
No,
so when they were in concentration camps, for the Pearl Harbor, they were put in these camps, and in 1988, they were giving $20,000 each. Damn. You feel what I'm saying? And we built the country. You know what I'm saying? And then I had somebody even say, well, what about the Irish and the Japanese that came here, or the Chinese that came here to work on the railroads? They decided to come here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they were technically indentured servants, meaning that they were working.
They got their freedom after.
And they got a little something after.
And that was way later, too. It was way later than when we came, right?
Oh, heck yeah, bro.
Like what? 1800s,
bro, late 1800s or early, actually it was early 1800s. And because they were coming here to build the railroads. By that time we was already doing Jamestown in 1619, I believe. Like we were here pretty much, we built the White House, what I'm saying? And the thing is, they and by they I mean like white people, because they are the oppressors for the most part. They do a good job at advertising and marketing, and they're really good at getting people to do what they want. Manipulation, bro.
The craziest part about really what America was built off of was they had like a lot of philosophers and inventors and stuff like that. So they took all these different concepts that they got from Europe and then integrated them here. So they did slavery and stuff like that out there. All these new technologies, America was like, the testing center for it, and it's crazy how like quickly everything happened. It's crazy. But I think for us to have done, for our people to black people to have done so much to build this country, I think it's so interesting how like we're mentally branded to feel like we're inferior and like we're weaker,
Well, because of history, bro. Like reading a book, our freaking Black history has been condensed to 28 days in February. You feel me? Yeah. And I celebrate blackness everywhere. And the thing is, we had a lot of stuff, and that's the thing. We had Black Wall Street in Tuskegee, and they burned that down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We had a lot of stuff down south that was ours, but we were like Martin Luther King. His final speech was he felt that he led us into a burning building. Yeah. Reason being is because once segregation ended, we closed down our businesses. We closed down our bus, in our buses and our grocery stores, and then we started shopping at the white people's. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much really what happened. And we, instead of us ending segregation and keeping our businesses, and if we felt like going to support a white person, our other establishment, we could, but instead we closed down our stuff, hurting us, and there wasn't no, like people say black on black violence, but there wasn't really no black on black violence. Why? Because we was too busy getting killed by the KKK. You know what I'm saying? But when you're fighting over resources, you know what I'm saying? And every day is a struggle. What the heck do you think is going to happen? It happens in Mexico. That's why a lot of Mexicans come here, because they're poor. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. They over there, it's the cartel running a lot of this stuff, and it's real. But we talk about if it's predominantly black or predominantly white, what the heck do you think is going to happen? It's going to be some crime, And so like, that's the whole thing. It's like, it's not no systematic, thing. The white people kill in masses, literally. Las Vegas, Columbine. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead serious, bro. The white boy that shot up the church. You know what I'm saying? The white person that shot up the whole movie theaters. They kill in masses. So it doesn't even matter. Like, people just kill. That's just how people are. You know, so I just hate that narrative that people say that that's just how humans are. Is it right? No. But at the same time, we're just trying to fight just to be equal, you know. And that's the thing, like, people, just for you to hate me for the color of my skin instead of know who I am, that's what's crazy, you know. And that's why I'm saying it's embedded in us. It's a mental thing, bro.
And that's really what we're trying to push with this whole message. This selfless basically means I love me and I love others too. And I think because of this message that's been branded, we have a lot of black people who don't like black people. You know, you see, I don't know if you saw like Doja Cat and stuff like that.
Yeah, all
that stuff. We have a lot of self-hatred and stuff like that towards our race, towards our community. And it's like, if you think of a black brand, it's like, it's gonna be ghetto. Or is this business gonna be ghetto? You know, are they gonna treat me a certain kind of way? Like we give ourselves these negative stereotypes,
preconceived notions.
And that's messed up, because I found when I was in Spain, I felt hecka comfortable because I didn't see no black dudes with hoodies, and I'm just like, you know what, cool, like, because I know it's like mentally you don't even realize how like you can like become branded, you know, like
brainwashed.
You become brainwashed and stuff like that in a place like just where everything that you see is like all this negative stuff. You're taught to be afraid of one thing, but you're not taught to be afraid of other things. You know?
See, but that's why it's like, you know, you have to kind of be be cognitive in your mind and just kind of keep it in your forefront. Like, if I see a black person, I will at least try to say what's up. You know what I'm saying? And that's why in the beginning, if you heard me say, when I at the bank, I talked to black people about this type of stuff because we weren't taught. I for sure wasn't taught. You know what I'm saying? Because how can somebody teach something that they were never taught? Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So once you come into the knowledge and you have the choice to either use it or just, you know, throw it away. And that's one thing I was blessed to, you know, learn at the bank. I learned a lot about, you know, building credit, you know, how to establish credit, the types of things to do for loans and stuff like that, and how a lot of these people are invested in property instead of buying Jordans. Like, all that stuff is cool, but what you should do is get property. That's how come these people kick you out of your house. And that's why California is so expensive. Why? Because nobody owned that. You know what I'm saying? They're coming there, Silicon Valley, they hiked everything up, and then it trickles down if you think about it, because
it does. It's like everything gets more and more expensive. Like, new area happens, then all of a sudden prices rise. And they're just kicking you out. I feel like California, literally, you ain't gonna be able to like live there.
Nah, bro.
You like, and then every section A is gonna be in like one section, and then they just gonna force everybody into
one
place. Bro,
it was so bad. Like, if you're a doctor, you can still qualify for low income housing out there in the Bay Area. That's how dumb it is. Real, you know what I'm saying? And they already lost the football team. Half the people are moving from you know, California, going to Texas, coming here to Reno, going to Vegas, because ain't nobody trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have moved from Frisco to Oakland, from Oakland to Vallejo, from Vallejo on down to Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? And the people from Sacramento, they go, shoot, well, I'm going to Reno. You know what I'm saying? Because it's true, though. But, you know, I know a lot of people that aren't homeowners. I just thank God, like I told my brother, bro, you get you a college credit card, you pay that mess off. This dude's only 20 years old and buy this house, 4-bedroom in Arizona. You feel me? And it's like, you know, that, and then you can rent that property out, have tenants, and you don't even have to work. For real. Literally.
Yeah, hold on. Let's slow it down, because we're gonna get deeper into legacy and stuff. So before we get too deep, because we've already, this first 13 minutes has been heavy lifting.
Yeah, man.
We know my man is passionate. Welcome to the Selflish podcast.
Thank you, sir.
I got a gift for you.
Oh, snap. Oh, for thank you. Probably weird, because I need a haircut.
Which is actually disappointing, because growing up, you always had the nicest haircut.
Man, it's...
And then you like... I don't know, you like got older and you act like you got married and got kids now.
Bruh, no, not even that. It's just work. And then, you know, we came down here. I couldn't get my hair cut. You know, I usually get it, once every 2 weeks or something like that. Because, you know, bills happen. Yeah. Cars break down. You got to fix it. You know, life don't stop, man. Yep.
I feel you. Hey, so we're going to do something lighthearted, bro. You posted something today on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And we're going to like break it down.
Okay. I posted something on Facebook?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So here we go, y'all. Let me see if this works.
Right, I don't know what it is. All right. Oh my God.
Hey, we gotta really explain this to people. So,
I don't even know what the heck is going on.
I don't know if I should feel like sad or not,
bro. I was like, because then somebody said this is what 2020's been like.
Yeah,
man.
this
so
is what 2020 is like, y'all. So pay attention, please. This is a new segment, like what the heck moment. All right, this is 2020 in a nutshell. First of all, that's the nicest moonwalk I've ever seen, bro. I've never seen a nicer moonwalk in my life. Bro, look at this, yo. What is he on? He's on Sherm, bro.
I don't know.
And the spin.
Though. But the head, though. Did you see the head? You got to go back to the head jerk, bruh. Look at the head jerk. Watch. Oh, he hit it, though.
Wait, before we get to... Wait, yo. I wish I was there, like, yo. Like,
what was going on? Who was recording it, though?
Like, they're like, what
do I do? And he was unfazed, though.
Where they in Albuquerque or something, bro.
Nah, bro.
Okay, now here's where things get real 2020. Wait.
He's still there.
This is like some Childish Gambino stuff, bro.
And then the police.
Like, what is going on?
And he's still going. And then hold on, the bow.
Yo, the whole time I'm just like,
what the world?
This is America.
Yes. In a nutshell.
Dang,
you got people just trying to mind their own business, and then you got COVID-19 right there.
And then you got people behind
Then you
the
got the police brutality coming in. Hold on. You got, What did he hit her? I don't know.
Is this person alive? What's
yeah, they're both alive. And then I don't know what was going on, but he was unfazed. Thank you. I'll be here till Tuesday.
He even had his mask on. Wait.
He did. I didn't even know he had the mask. So you know it was recent.
Bro, where is this?
I don't know. But that head, though.
What color is his shirt, bro? What shade of brown is it?
Dirty beige, bruh.
It's like sunburnt.
I don't know. I was just so confused by this whole video. It was just too much going on. Too much.
I saw that just now. I was like, yo, this is so dumb.
How 2020's been so far. You know how 2020's been so far.
But that was the smoothest.
It was the smoothest walk.
That was smooth, bro.
Yeah.
That was smooth.
Yeah. I had to give it to him. I said it. I was like, bruh, first of all, he did hit it. He was trying to show his moves off to whomever was recording that.
Yeah, for real. All right, bro. So let's get into the other side of the deep topics.
For sure.
All right. Why are you in town?
Well, I was here for I guess it was supposed to be like a opening, because there's really not. Well, they're opening pretty soon for
like
our grandpa. Yeah, like a walkthrough for our grandpa's apartments that was named after him. Yeah. And just pretty much just seeing how he left behind.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Can I say it?
Yeah.
A legacy?
Yeah, legacy. That's what we're going to talk about today. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that was dope, I told my dad today, I said, yo, he died 35 years ago. Mm-hmm. And 35 years later, he still made such an impact that something is named after him, you know? That's crazy, because a lot of times we live for the moments. We live for the now. Like you said, we want to get Jordans now. We want to look fresh now. We don't think about property. We don't think about the stuff that's going to last when we're gone, that we can take, we can pass down to. So with you being in town, I was like, yo, we should definitely get together and like just discuss legacy, because I know that's something that's really important to both of us, you know? So my first thing is, in your own opinion, what is legacy to you?
Well, legacy is something like that could be passed down, something that your parents, have done and left you to, pretty much inherit. That's literally the definition: some money or property, or passed down, or in a will. And that's why I was telling people, like, again, life insurance. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize how cheap life insurance is. And I know people don't like to talk about this type of stuff, but I mean, we all got to die. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. We all got to go, and the thing is just like when, it's not if, but are not, I guess not. Yeah. It's not if we die, but when we going to die, Yeah. And so you know, like I said, you can leave something behind with life insurance. Like you can get like a $10, you know, you can pay $10 a month for a $50,000 policy. That's something that can be left down. Yeah. You can start a business, you know, you can buy some property, you know, instead of having your family in an apartment or something, you can have a house for them to move into. Yeah. And you can always sell that, you know, it's an investment. So that's pretty much what, you know, legacy means. Yeah. You know,
to me, I feel like it's making such an impact while you're here that when you're gone, it still feels like you're still here. You know, cousin Mike, he said that one time he went in, he had a ticket or something like that, and he was in court, and the judge let him get off because his last name was Wynn, and his grandpa. You know, like making such an impact to where, like, whether it's a house, whether it's just resources, whether it's people and connections, but leaving that behind for the people who come after you. You know, the craziest thing that I've been thinking about is, you know, because we all say, oh, if I was, our generation is big on, oh, I couldn't be a slave, or, oh, if they tried to do this, I wouldn't be that, you know. And then we know about the Africans who, like, they came over all the way here and they said, you know what, I'd rather die than, you know, than slave myself, you know. So they killed themselves in the oceans. There's people who's always jumping off. But the fact that we're here, it shows that we had a strong legacy of people who were strong enough to go through all that stuff.
Bro, we are resilient.
All that stuff. It's crazy,
It's
right?
resilient, bro.
It's like, and I wish that we can, like, really push that to kids, right? I taught this kid in middle school, like 6 years ago. And he was like, oh, I want to be a thug. I want to be a pimp. I'm like, no, man, you smart, bro. Like, you can hoop. Like, you good. Like, you know, just stay focused. Last week I saw him at the jail that I work at now, you know, ain't doing nothing with his life, has no goals, got 2 kids, nothing. But it's like, I remember talking to them kids at, like, Trainer, which is like the inner city over here. And it's like, they could not see beyond, like, the corners that they block, you know? And it's like, when you can't see beyond the corners of the block, you're not thinking about further down the line. And lately I've been finding motivation in, like, okay, 300 years ago, somebody was like, you know what, I gotta press on because there's something else that's gonna happen after this, you know. And a lot of times we like, it's crazy how black people parallel with, like, just the Jews in the Bible, you know, because, like, they were enslaved for 400 years and, like, you know, what we went through. But even during that slavery, like, God had made them a promise before, and God actually promised Abraham that they were gonna be enslaved, you know. And despite all the slavery and everything that they went through, you see how God still prospered them, you know. And I think I just think it's no, like,
coincidence.
Like, it's no coincidence how black people, not Africans, bro, black Americans have changed the world. Like, we built this country, but if you think about sports, music, inventions,
we're pop
all
culture,
this stuff, bro. Imagine if slaves never even came over here. Like, what, we would probably still be in, like, the darkness, you know, it would not be where it's at. Facts. And I think that legacy is something that is, like, even beyond my dad, beyond my grandpa, like, that legacy of just knowing, yes, they were stripped away from their names. They were stripped away for all the religions, whatever. But the legacy is they survived, you know, and they left something. And here I am. So what am I going to do so that 400 years ago, I have kids, you know, I have, like, think about 300 years ago, like, our ancestors, you know, like, they got, like, thousands of relatives right now because they persevered, you know, they took the beatings, they did the work, you know. And I think that's how I'm looking at life right now. Like, if they went through slavery and they were beaten and persecuted, but they continued on, I can go through and, like, fight for what I want to get and what I want to leave for my kids, you know.
And you said Jews, but, you know, how when people say Jewish people back in those Bible days were not white. You get what I'm saying? Because all the Bible takes place in pretty much Africa and Middle East. So, and we don't even know our own heritage. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that separates a lot of people. Like, I know, like, I talk to a lot of people, and, you know, some Asians, they know where they come from in certain places. You know, some Mexicans, they know where they come. Sinaloa, you know, or something, or Mexico City. If you ask a black person, for the most part, their grandpa, you know, well, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Detroit, you know. But, and you ask that person's grandpa, where are they from? Arkansas, you know. But we really don't know what part of Africa. How do you know that our bloodline isn't of Jewish descent? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, when and like you say, it's kind of like we're parallel, but nothing new is under the sun, you know, and sometimes history does repeat itself. And that's how come, you know, a lot of people were, you know, like you said, that we are resilient people, you know. And just like you was talking about that boy that, you know, you was trying to talk to him, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Exactly.
It's up to that person to really want to make the change.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's so true, because I can talk to you until I'm blue in the face about something, but it's up to you to make the, you know, the effort.
Yeah.
And then once you become into, like I said, when you have the knowledge of something and you know better, it's up to you to do better.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, it's very true, bro, like you said, but it's crazy because you have to have a made up mind to want to do better. Even some people that are thugs and they don't want to be a thug for life, you know, and they really want to get out of it because they see in they homies. My dad was a drug dealer in Oakland, California. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seeing some dude get his head blown off, and my dad wasn't trying to do all that stuff.
I'm in the jail. I'm like literally talking to dudes who have taken bodies and stuff like that, who have seen this stuff.
Yep.
All this stuff in hip hop is not real,
It's
bro.
not,
it's
bro.
not like
It's not.
It's not real.
But it's an agenda, and because if you think of it, who's all the ARs, the execs? It's not really no black people.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Chance the Rapper really started pushing, you know, independence. You know what I'm saying? Own your own stuff, because now these people are trying to fight for their masters, and they don't even really own it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy how like with NWA, what they did in the late 80s or whatever, they shifted. Like they actually gave us a voice.
Yeah,
you know? They're
facts.
like, look, this is literally what's going on.
Facts.
We're literally getting beat. We're literally like, you know, LA was mad segregated.
Yep.
You know, you couldn't cross certain streets out
Nope.
there without the cop coming up and pressing you and stuff
Yep.
like that. So they used that to get their voice out, to let the message be heard, you know? And then it was flipped.
Yep, misconstrued.
Misconstrued. And they're like, oh, so you're a thug because you listen to gangster rap. Or you're a bad person because you listen to gangster rap. But it's like, you was growing up in the hood whether gangster rap came or not, you know? That stuff was still happening, you know?
Exactly.
It sucks, but it's just like, and even taking this back to legacy, you can't let certain people change and shift the legacy that you're trying to produce, you know?
True. But then it can still be tainted. Like you said, even still, they tried everything. But if somebody like a white person, it's enticing that lifestyle because they can go back to their regular norm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Meanwhile, like if I had a white homie that lived in the suburbs, he just wants to come over just to chill, and then he gets to go home, but I'm still stuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's,
and even if it's not even white people, because there's like I think a lot of people live vicariously through hip hop, even people who ain't even really
black
about it.
people.
Yeah, a lot of black people,
that's
like, they not really about it.
Very true. But the thing is, you know, it's hard to say, you know, about legacy, because I can have a kid and I leave him everything, but who's to say my kid is gonna keep my vision? You know what I'm saying? So it honestly, it goes back to just even talking to your kids. Your kids can be a legacy too, bro, and just instilling in them, and they could still, because the Bible even talks about, you know, train up a child in the way they should go. You know, so when they get older, they do not depart from thee. And it can even be from, and by that, it's his teachings and what you are instilling in your child. Because if I'm telling my kid and I'm just telling him F a B, what my son gonna do? Exactly. Unless my son has a mind of his own and he sees and he wakes up, because there's a lot of people that do wake up from that stuff, and then there's some people that don't.
That's really, really important too with what you're saying. I feel like the family dynamic of African Americans, even from slavery, you know, like it was constantly like the women were pretty much used just to breed all these kids, you know, and they're getting displaced and stuff like that. You know, the family has always it's always something that's been trying to be ripped apart, you know? Because when you have a relationship between a father and a son, they can pass down that knowledge and stuff like that. And when you pass down knowledge, you know who you are. You know, I was telling, so my dad, I was telling you earlier about going back to my grandpa. My dad didn't know he was the first African American on the governor's cabinet until after he died. But imagine the power that you would have knowing that that's who your father was,
and you can walk in that.
You can literally walk in that because then you have an identity in something.
Exactly.
You know? You're not aimless. You're not wandering. And it's like no matter what happens, even after he dies, you already know for a fact, yo, this is who I am because this is who my dad was. You know, and I think a lot of times with what's happening now, our generation, I feel like probably like 80% of our generation grew up without dads. Like a huge percent of that.
Divorce and stuff like that.
Divorce, just whether it be divorce or just deadbeat, dead, in jail, locked up. So much of our generation has no idea who their father is. And because they don't know that, there's no legacy to hold on to where you are motivated. So this dude going back to him at the middle school, I'm telling him, hey, you should do this, you know, you can do better. But his dad is trash. His dad's got a bunch of girls pregnant, ain't doing nothing. Now 6 years later, he got girls pregnant. He got 2 kids, ain't taking care of them, you know.
Yeah, but that's just goes back to what I was saying. You don't have to be caught up in that mess. You know what I'm saying? And that's
it's hard though.
It's hard.
You got to admit, it's really hard to see beyond your current environment.
But you have to with social media now, in the Google and all this other stuff. There's no reason why you shouldn't be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why. And I know it's easier said than done for sure. But I know a lot of people that make it out of the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even have to go, like, a lot of football players would be like, man, this is not what I want. My dad wasn't there, but I made up the choice to do something different. Yeah. So you have to have a made up mind. You feel me? So even still, you can't. And the thing is about the Bible, bro, it's not about your family. Everything points back to God for you to depend on him. Because the thing is like, I can be so upset and everything. And that's why I feel like church is so, not even so much church, just the Bible. The Bible is so prevalent and will teach you so much about that, because the people perish because of lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And that's in the Bible. And that's the thing. It's like, I know Minister Farrakhan can quote that Bible so quick, and he knows that stuff because it's real. You know what I'm saying? I think he quotes that more than the Quran, to be honest with you. But the thing is, it's like, you have to know everything points back to God. Everything, your struggles and everything has to go back to, you know, the Father, because I can't do it. You know, if my dad died last year, I could be just in a straight slump, bruh. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I could be just, man, oh, woe is me, man, oh, God. Oh. But it's like, Lord, I thank you, you know, because I know my dad's in a better place. Everything that he taught me, even though him and my mom divorced, he was very much in my life, you know. Like I was telling you earlier, when I was in college, I lived with him for all throughout college. You know what I'm saying? And then after college, I was still there for like 2 years until I figured out what I wanted to do. You know, and then he taught me a lot of stuff about, you know, just like life insurance, you know, ownership, you know, just being a man of your word, and just, you know, doing your work. You know, a lot of people are lazy, and I feel like people try to, you know, find different avenues to get rich instead of just putting in the work. You know, everybody's trying to do the TikToks. Social media, bro, in my opinion, has ruined a lot of us, you know, especially the kids. I remember I used to play outside and be active, you know, and just and then times have changed too, because I know people's getting kidnapped and stuff like that. So it's a difference, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying,
even, I think it's funny, like, just, there are people who say, like, times are worse now, but I'm just like, you know, like, y'all had the Mansons, y'all had, like, all these murderers doing a bunch of wild stuff back then.
But nobody had no Wayfair.
What's that?
Oh, you don't know about Wayfair? Bro, Wayfair is a furniture company, and it's this thing going around that, you know, cabinets.
Okay.
Going for $12,000 and $13,000. When an original cabinet is only what, $500 at most $1,000, and they're putting these people in these, you know, from what they're saying, you know, in these big old cabinets, and charging $12,000 and $13,000 for something that should be like $1,000, $500 to $1,000, and it's saying that it's, you know, human trafficking through Wayfair, which is a furniture company, bro.
That's crazy.
But even still, like, you know, like, people, I mean, like, you really,
I'm gonna shut up, but
I'm telling you, it's because of technology, bro.
When did,
like what? This happened this week, bro. Really? This came out, yeah. Some girl, it was, I think her name was Samaya. They had something called a Samaya. I'm gonna show you on my phone, bro. Yeah. It's like it's like
so you can Google it right here.
Oh yeah, bro. But let me just make sure, because I like to, you know, make sure my stuff is right.
That's crazy. And this is like way far off topic, but now I'm like, we've been watching a bunch of Netflix documentaries lately too. So.
Yeah.
Man, this stuff is crazy, bro. What people be getting away with. Did you see the Epstein documentary?
Who? No, I didn't.
Bro, no.
The thing is, with me, bro, like, I could be, and I don't, because I'm not racist, but people like me, I can go in and have a do-rag on my head, and, you know, be literally a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And sagging hecka hard and be very smart, you know? And then meanwhile, you have a white dude with some glasses and he's the real killer. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna come after me because of I fit the description. Mm-hmm. Dude, I had in Las Vegas, Nevada, I had 6 guns drawn on me. Damn. In front of my mom's house. No lie.
When?
This was last year.
What?
Yeah, 6 guns, bro. I was pulling up into my mom's house. Well, I was actually leaving my mom's house, and I had forgot my charger in her house. So I had parked my car in front of the little office in front of her apartments, and I was running in there. Here it is, right here. I was running in to go get my charger, and hold on, dude. There it is, Samaya. 5 shelf, 12,080, and her name was Samaya. Wow. Samaya, 5 shelf, that's going crazy, for 12,899, and the girl's name was Samaya. Wow. At Wayfair, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Anyway, I'm running, you know, and I run into my mom's house to go get my charger, and then I see a police officer, you know, coming into the apartment, and he's opening the gate, and I'm all like, dang, well, let me go move my car at this point so he don't give me a ticket. So I'm turning around, and as he's coming in, like 5 more cop cars pull up, and then the cop car didn't even come to a complete stop, and this woman officer gets out the car real fast and draws her gun on me, and then all these other cops pull out their guns, and the cop that was on that was arrived on the scene first was running up towards me trying to arrest me. I'm like, what's this about? And the woman's just all like, don't move. And I'll drop my keys because, mind you, the year before, Stephen Clark in Sacramento got shot for a cell phone. So I'm like, I threw my keys down, throwing them my hands up. I'm like, what's going on? So he pulls my hands. I'm like, well, what's this about? He's all like, go get on the ground. I'm like, bro, I'm not going on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I'm not resisting arrest, but you didn't even tell me what I did. So then he's still trying. And mind you, bro, I'm in my nice clothes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, like, no, you're not gonna get me down. So then while all these calls are pulling their guns on me, I start, you know, honestly, because I'm in front of my mom's house at this point, in her apartment rather, and I just start crawling, you know, I'm like, mom, screaming, mom, and nobody answers. So I finally scream, Wilhelmina. My brother comes running out, you know, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I hope they don't shoot him. And then he's like, and the officer kind of gets startled, and then right behind him, my mom comes out, and my mom's like, what's going on? And the officer kind of lets me go. He's like, we got a report that somebody was stabbed in the apartments next door. And my mom's like, you in the wrong apartments. Like, what was, and she was just like, oh, well, he just fit the description. We're like, what, a black man? I kid you not. And I snatched from it. I said, I told you I lived here. Bro. I should have got his badge number and all that stuff. And then they all left after that. I called my dad right after that. He said, bro, that could have went a whole lot worse. You know what I'm saying? But that's like the type of stuff that black people go through. And I'm not even doing nothing. I'm literally going to my mom's house to get my charger and to have 6 guns point out at me.
That's crazy.
So it is the way of the world, man. It's like I said, man, it's like we get victimized. So like,
dang, bro, that's crazy.
Like not even victimized. We get, you know.
But hey, how did you feel after that?
What do you mean?
Like, how did you feel like the week after that? Like,
I was like, because I know what it is.
Dang, bro, but I mean, that's crazy.
I know what it is, bro. I ain't never like no cop. I ain't never called no cop, bro. In Elk Grove, California, I was driving my dad's BMW, and luckily his name is Greg. And the first thing they asked me is, whose car is this? Not license and registration. And I'm like, well, why'd you pull me over for? Oh, because the windows is tinted. And mind you, my dad had the legal tint on there. I'm like, well, this is the legal tint, you know? And he's like, oh. Then I had a situation where I had my air freshener hanging from my rearview mirror. Obstruction of view.
What?
I'm telling you, bro.
That's crazy, bro.
Turning on your signal, not letting people know that you're getting over. Failure to signal. That's what they call it. Just stupid stuff.
That's crazy.
So it's like, bro, like and it's like defund the police, not get rid of the police, because some people, but defunding mean they don't need all that money. It can go to schools, because half the public schools, people are stupid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Unfortunately, because they're teaching you how to be a worker bee. That's how come a lot of people's first job is McDonald's instead of starting their own business.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. And actually, my whole thoughts about everything going on in that climate is they'd rather you rally behind a white person to pass one law than allow like 50 black senators, lawyers, people, all these black people get into Congress, you know?
You saw when they had them African garments on and they was all kneeling and we were like, we didn't ask for that. I too.
I saw that. I saw one where they were like, I am sorry for my white privilege.
Oh like, my gosh. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Bro.
They doing like, everything but.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I don't know.
That's why I say, man.
Like, oh, vote for Biden. If you.
Yeah, nah. It's like, bro. Like, you know, like Killer Mike. Dude, that's the one. Have you seen his documentary? Trigger Warning?
No.
Watch Trigger Warning, bro. He breaks it down
he's smart,
so bro. He's hecka smart. Bro. He got into it with DJ Envy about, you know, the public. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's true. Why are you like Booker T. Washington? That's named after. Why wouldn't you? Yeah. You know, and that goes back to what I said earlier. Anything black, we got a negative connotation on. Yep.
Anything. It's like even if things that are given to us, you know, crazy, bro.
And yet we are everything. We start the dances, and then like Asians take over and they killing it. You know what I'm saying? And then like we are the most welcoming people, but people don't want to welcome us as far as into their except for, you know, I don't know anybody really that's really like slapping like country like that, you know, as far as black people go. But then you have a lot of, you know, white people. You got a lot, some Mexicans that's in the hip hop culture, and we welcome them. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the Miley Cyruses. Once they benefit off of us, they go and do something that they know. You know what I'm saying?
Back pop and everything, yeah.
So it's like, bro, we do a lot of things that's so cool, and they want to be, you know, but they don't want to have the struggles that come along with it, you know?
Yeah. So let's go back to going back to legacy and everything like that, right? So you've talked about property, you've talked about life insurance. Okay. So how do you feel about family? And like, when do you want to get married and have kids? Obviously, when what is your time frame and stuff like that?
Whenever a girl acts right. You know what I'm saying?
Is that like a goal that you actually have?
Not well. If it happens, it happens. You know, it's not like a goal, especially in this climate. You know, it's scary to have a kid now, especially with everybody getting kidnapped, and then you finding black people in mats and stuff like that. And it's like you really have to instill, like, it's a daily talk with your kid, bro.
But that's the thing, though. I think somebody like, okay, let's take my dad for example. Talk to us a lot, you know. And the more I understand my dad and his relationship with his father, I get why he talked to us so much, because there was so much that he didn't have so many tools. He didn't have any awareness of what he was actually doing to really be able to pass it down to us. It was almost like he's passing us this legacy down like a day late, you know. But because he talked to us, I have a different understanding on how I'm raising my son and my daughter. I have a different understanding on every move that I make, you know? And I understand that along with my dad's legacy and his dad's legacy, I have a legacy that I'm going to birth too, you know?
Facts.
It's not my job just to fall back on what he's doing. There's no like, take what he's doing, carry that, but then also make something up for myself.
Exactly.
You know? And I think the black family is like, it's been so strategically destroyed to the point where it's like the legacy is made. If there's no family, it's hard to, there's no legacy really. You know, there's no way to really have a legacy without that. And if you look at the Bible, Abraham had Ishmael and he had Isaac. Ishmael, they say those are the Muslims. And now they say Isaac, he's, you know, the Jews, whatever. But you see how like the legacy, his legacy that God promised him has become construed because
he didn't listen.
Yeah. Because his family was messed up, you know?
Well, it was honestly because he just didn't listen. Well, honestly, not even so much that. He let somebody else tell him what he should do. His
wife gave him a hall pass.
His wife. I mean, instead of his wife doing the spread eagle and doing what she needed to be done, she gave him her handmaiden. And you know, he did that, and God was like, that's not what I told you to do. And a lot of times we get in our own way. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. And that's
especially when it comes to family and stuff like that, bro. It's unfortunate, you know, because it's like, because it's somebody like you know, who you have all this wealth and knowledge and stuff like that. Like, like it's almost like there's a son who deserves to have you as a dad, because you can teach him and you can teach him how to maneuver, and all the fear of all the worst things happening into the world. It's like when the father's there, they're protected, you know, like a father is there to protect. He's there to instill, teach, nurture, you know, cultivate everything that he sees, you know, and without that, there's no legacy to where you can't do it, you know, and then you end up like, you know, these dudes like LeBron James who literally, it's almost like they have to muster up the strength themselves, you know, like it's crazy. I'm like so proud of all these athletes, because it's crazy how like these people who literally had nothing, had nothing handed to them. Family like walked away from the most messed up situations. They're looking face to face with these dudes who were born into millions.
Exactly.
You know? It's like
my point exactly. And I don't mean to cut you off, but just like how you said that boy that you talked about, he didn't have to go that route.
Yeah.
There's millions of stories that tell you that you can be a success story, but you have to put forth the work. You don't have to be that person. Yeah. You could literally come from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jamie Foxx was just raised by his grandma. You know what I'm saying? And he could have been like, man, but he saw something. Dave Chappelle did you hear his story about the KKK coming to his house? Yeah. And then he got on the stage at 14. You have to have like I said, you have to be the author of your own story. You just gotta ask God to get to because when it's in you, bro, it's like a fire that tells you, all right, this is what I need to be doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? 100%. And you won't sleep until you conquer that. Yeah. And I think one thing that our generations now have been taught, it's like this idea of generational curses, right? Yeah. We're just like, oh, well, I'm this because my dad, and because his dad, and because his dad. The Bible literally says, if I put a curse on somebody because he sins, right? If he has a son who doesn't sin against me, he's not cursed. So that's it. That's freedom in that. But we like are bound by this idea of, oh, I have to be like this because my grandpa was an alcoholic, or I have to be like this because he was a drug addict, you know? But when you really break free from all that stuff and understand that you have all the power through God to do anything that you want, and in your words, and the power lies in your tongue. So if you keep speaking that stuff in the atmosphere, what you think is gonna happen? Yeah. A lot of the people that make it are because they are resilient and they don't listen to what anybody else is telling them. Yeah. And that's real life. Like I could be like listening to my mom telling me, Greg, you need to do this, but if I'm like, Mom, that's not for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if I continue to listen to her, and then now I'm stuck in a situation because now I'm mad at her because that's my bad. Exactly. Because I didn't have to listen. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you know you ain't doing nothing wrong and it's something that you're passionate about. Exactly. You know,
bro, that's what this is all about for real. Like selfish is like, I love me, and Mom, I love you, but I gotta love myself enough to know that what you want me to do is like, it may offend you for right now, but trust me, 3 years from now, we both gonna be eating off it. You know, a lot of time we get so afraid of that. We get so afraid of hurting the people close to us, to where we become crippled and we don't move, and then we're stagnant. And then 10 years later, you're upset and you're blaming everybody for what you did. You know,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
It happens so often, bro, and that's why that's what this whole brand is about. It's just like, not trying to offend anybody, but I'm going to progress and I want you to progress, but I'm not going to allow your progression to cause me to be stagnant.
I'm not going to let your limitations be placed on my life.
Exactly.
You want to know like the instance, like it's like this. When me and Tyler went to the Dominican Republic, we had everybody, why are you guys going there? You're going to get kidnapped. You're going to get this. Oh, yeah. Have you been to the Dominican? No. Oh, okay. Yeah. So how are you? You're letting somebody tell you how to live your life, and they haven't even left their porch.
And it's like, for what, bro? It's like,
because they're placing their limitations, their fears on you, making you think that you can't. And when you do it, then they're like, oh my gosh. And then you tell them, and then now they're like, oh, well, if he can, because it's like this. It's really what it is, bro. Like, I can tell you, Luke, I don't think you should do a podcast. Well, have you done one? Yeah. No, but I've seen everybody else fail and do it. But how do you know that that's not for you? Like, how do you know that you know you won't succeed? You know,
exactly.
And so that's really what it boils down to, man.
It's so real. And the funniest part about those situations, because I mean, I went to Spain too, and obviously it's the same situation. Like, I think growing up in church, like, everything is a fear. You know, like the reason why church kids are the worst kids is because their whole lives growing up, they're taught. Their whole lives growing up, they're taught, oh, this is what the world's doing, and it's bad. So they go out and they're like doing extra stuff. And they're like, and dudes in the world's like, yo, we ain't on that, bro. That's you. Like, we don't do that, you know? And I think because of like the fear that they instill in us, it's like we should have a fear of God, but that fear isn't, oh, I'm afraid of God. It's a reverence, you know? It's like it's a reverence because it's like you have access to this person to the one who created everything. So if you have access to the person who created everything, the Bible says that the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, and all things that dwell in it. You know, so we're protected. This is a side note. I told my wife, God gave me this dream the other day. But the one thing that he told me was, despite what's going on in society right now, like our connection to him is allowing us to prosper even in this society. Before the coronavirus hit, we were living in her parents' other house, you know, in one room. And now, like, you see how like things like flip flop. Yeah, it's just because it doesn't matter. Like when you're living your life according to God, like if you're allowing fear to stop you from doing anything, like you're doing something wrong. You know, like your relationship with God is incorrect if you're allowing fear to stop you.
Well, because if you think about it, bro, like even like some people say religion is bad, but I don't want to say it separates us. Because you have the Baptists, you have the Apostolics, you have the Jesus only. We all reading the same Bible, but the doctrine that they believe is just a little. And what is crazy is, why do we need a doctrine when we have the Bible? That's what's so crazy to me. Like, you know, why do we have other denominations and stuff like that, but we're reading the same God, reading the same Bible. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know,
honestly though, some of the differences are the exact same thing anyway. Like, so we grew up Trinitarian, whatever that meant. We never really took a class on that. I just knew we believed in the Trinity for some reason. And my wife's family, they grew up like Unitarian. And her dad was like, he's a pastor. He was describing like Unitarian. I'm like, that's definitely the Trinitarian. Like, that's definitely the same exact thing, but it's like you get somebody who interprets it and creates their own word for it. And then it just causes this division.
Division. And that's why it's like you don't need nobody else. That's why when Jesus came and he died, he broke the veil. So therefore, you don't even really need anything in the Catholic realm because the Catholics believe that they have to go to the priest. Now, back
to get forgiveness.
Now, there was a time in the Ark of the Covenant where they needed that because the priest.
Was way before Catholicism.
And that's what
I don't even
saying.
Want to get started on Catholicism.
But I'm just saying, really, though. You feel what I'm saying? It's religion. But if you read
and one thing that Jay told me, he said it's not even religion, it's dogmas, really what it is, which is the things that come with all these different religions, all these different like ideas and stuff like
ideologies.
That, you know? Exactly. Shoot, there was something I wanted to say just now. I lost it. I was about to say something too.
It's all good. Man. But you're right though, cousin. And like that's why I said like you really have to
Okay, I just got it back. My bad. So one thing that's amazing about God, right? So if you have this, imagine that God's not real, but we believe that God is real, right? So that means we're literally empowered by nothing. Like nothing is motivating us to wake up in the morning. Nothing is giving us peace of mind. Nothing is answering. You know, like. So if we give nothing the power over us, who can stop us? You know, like the worst case scenario, if God is wrong, literally nothing is empowering us to succeed.
That's true.
And a lot of people, they look to substance, they look to like people, they look to addictions to move forward, to wake up in the morning because they don't have it.
Because people need validation. That's really what it is. People look for validation when if you know who you are and you know who God is, you don't need no validation.
Exactly, because you need somebody. Good job, you know. Let's go do this. You know, like that having to trust the intuition, which is God speaking to you.
Exactly.
That's okay. Sometimes that's not enough for people.
But people are weird, and that's why it says like people are sheep. You know, people are sheep, really. Because even at my job, you want to get, and I told Greg, how do you like to be recognized? Don't reckon. I'm here to work. It's my job. I don't need you to tell me like Greg is doing like if that's what I'm supposed to do. You know, I don't need no validation. You pay me enough. That's good enough for me. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm 100% the same way.
It's the truth because I don't like all that stuff, you know, but some people really do need that pat on the back.
They do.
That's not me, bruh. And I could care less how you think of me because I know how I think of me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
100%, bro.
And somebody is like, I like me. Oh, that was on this old show, Carmen. And Most Def was all like, you don't like me? Well, I like me. And that's so true because it's like, you don't have to like me. I like me because I'm going to have to be in my company whether you there or not. It's the truth.
Exactly, bro.
And so, but people need to speak life into themselves. A lot of people don't speak life into themselves. I was reading this book, the Napoleon Hill, the 48 or the 15 Laws of Success. And he tells you that you have to literally, help others get to where they are. And then by you doing that, you'll find yourself. You'll find your niche, you know what I'm saying, while you're helping others, and then you won't even have to work a day in your life. But the thing is, it's like being a servant. That goes back to the Bible. He's looking for a servant, somebody that's, working hard. That's somebody that's going to be, because when you're looking for validation, then that's being selfish. It's being selfish. You know what I'm saying? And he wants you to be, my fault, selfish. And he wants us to be selfless. You know what I'm saying? He wants us to be selfless. Yep, selfless. Yeah, there God. We go. I like that. Selfless. Selfless. Because it's true though, because at the end of the day, I get joy out of seeing other people smile. I get joy out of seeing dang, man, I really did help that person, man. That's really a blessing. Yeah. And then in turn, they'll come and bless you and not even really know it, Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, a lot of validation is not even real, bro.
Of course
we all got one person who we know who's not really that dope at something, but we be like, I see you, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get like you, man. For real. And I think a lot of people, they really do need that stuff.
Yeah. But if you suck, you suck. Yeah. And my thing is bruh, I can't sing. So I know for a fact, if somebody's all like, man, Greg, you did an awesome job, I'm be like, stop lying, bruh. Yeah. Because
and that's how I am too, because it's like, somebody can give me a compliment if I show them a song or something like that. But I'm like, I don't even want your compliment. I want to know, how did this make you feel?
Exactly.
Don't tell me, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I know it sounds good because I know how to mix music. Yeah. It can sonically sound good, but how does it make you feel?
Exactly.
And whenever I talk to people, I want something deeper than that, I was talking to my homie about just kind of reinventing myself, when it comes to music. And he said, shout out to my boy. He said, I think maybe it's because you need to be around more people who are complimenting you and helping you out. Not at all. I get that. If anything, I need the opposite so that I can grow. I need some iron so that I can sharpen myself. And a lot of people are afraid to go to these uncharted waters and to venture out and to take certain steps because one, the truth is revealed sometimes. When you go up a higher level, you realize if I want to stay there, I got to work harder and I got to change and I got to get better, But what happens is some people, they're more content in staying exactly where they are,
of course,
and constantly being pat on the back because you can be complacent. And you don't got to move forward.
Bro, being content is a strong thing, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Being content is very real. And some people, like you said, some people like being like Kendrick Lamar, being taken care of. Yeah. Me, but like I said, bro, it goes back to you wanting to want more, bro. Yeah. If it's not in you, then it's honestly, to be honest with you, it's not in you, my dude. And that's I'm serious, man. Because it's I can if I'm sitting here telling you and telling you and telling you and you refuse to listen. Yeah. Then what am I doing? Exactly. And then it's going through one ear and out the other. Then I'm just beating a dead horse. There's no point.
That's why nowadays when I'm talking to these inmates, I'm like, hey, good to see you again, bro. You're back. All right, cool. Here's your Bible. I ain't. And I think one thing that you said that was
your Bible.
So the one thing that I'm learning right now is I'm content with where I'm at, but I'm seeking for more. I'm content, but I'm not resting here. It's just like, God, I thank you for where I'm at right now, but I know that you've given me this desire and you've given me more. And I know I'm connected to someone, which is God, who's gonna give me more than what I have right now. So it's just like being content with where I'm at is actually giving me this happiness and this eagerness to be like, when really living in the fullness of what he has for me is going to be crazy. What is going to happen next, But a lot of people are literally just content, cool.
Or complacent. This. I would rather say, if you want to say that, then I would say most people are complacent. Yeah. And if you say content, because content is you're happy where you're at, but then when you said you want to get more, then okay, I see that.
It's a balance.
It's a balance, yeah.
It's totally a balance. I think even with this whole brand, it's God is really showing us that there's a lot more gray than we think, especially even with the Bible, God, he gave me this thing called like a biblical paradox, right? Like the Bible is more of a paradox, but we try to read it as black and white, and then we contradict ourselves because it's a paradox. The Bible says, "Thou shalt not kill." He tells David to kill everybody. How can this Bible be real?
Well, so here's the thing, though. What people have to understand is when the Bible was written, it was written for a certain people. Like when you talk about the people of Corinth, that was for those people of Corinth. In Egypt, when he told them to separate themselves and not do tattoos, and now everybody says no, don't do tattoos, that was because he was telling them not to separate themselves from what the Egyptians was doing. You know, don't celebrate the death. You know,
and that's the thing too, because you dive even deeper. You know,
So
what really were the Corinthian people like? What really were the Egyptian people like? You know, and then even the people like, okay, God told him to kill these people, but 500 years before, what actually did those people do? And God's just getting revenge on something that they had already did. You know, but it's like there's so much more gray area to life, and it's like a lot of times they make you feel like, oh, if you're not with me, you're for me, which is why I'm not a Republican or Democrat, because just because y'all say, oh, Trump is horrible, doesn't mean Biden's good. Doesn't mean I'm just going, oh, let me just give him my vote because no.
Facts. Because there was a lot of black people that voted for Trump because of, you know, jobs and stuff like that and other things.
But would you have voted for Hillary? Did you vote for Hillary?
I honestly, I didn't vote. Really, I haven't voted, but I'm about to start now.
Who you voting for?
Honestly, I'm probably gonna vote more so for like in my region. You know what
I'm saying? Oh, of course,
not so much because that's what really
those and people they gloss over that stuff.
That's
they don't
really
know
where it
really
is. Because people fail to realize there's 3 houses. There's the legislative, the Senate, and then the presidential. You know what I'm saying? And so like those
and the presidential almost has the least amount of power.
Exactly.
They're literally just the face of the operation.
Exactly. So what you have to vote for are the senators and, you know, the mayors, the people that actually have control in your region.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Willie McCurdy because he's a black dude that's, you know, doing stuff in the Las Vegas community. And, you know, he's really doing stuff. Black dude, you know? And I think he's 32. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you have to do your research, man. You really have to. There's no reason why you shouldn't. There's no reason why you shouldn't. You know, you be on your phone 24/7 doing a TikTok, bro. You can be looking up some stuff on what these people's policies are and what's going to be beneficial for you, you know?
Yeah. Would you ever want to get into politics?
I don't know. Because I do a lot of stuff and I don't want no scandals coming out like Greg is... I'll be in the news oh man, this guy again. I'll just be like, well, but you, I mean, at this point, Trump did so much stuff. At this point, you can get scandal.
You're an N-word, so
But I mean, but I mean, if you run with that, you know, if you know that's what you are, and I'm not that, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I know some ignorant Asians, I know, you know what I'm saying, that could be called that too. And so my whole thing is like, if you know who you, and it goes back to knowing who you are, you know, like
I think that's important too.
You have to, bro.
You, it's like as much as you're talking, like you know who you are, you know your boundaries. So it's like you're passionate about this, but really it's like you're trying to really spark. You're like Tupac, you know, you're trying to spark ignite the fire to where somebody is gonna go and become mayor or something like that, you know? A lot of people they go, okay, you know what? I want to be the next LeBron James because, you know, I come from where he's come from. It's like, don't seek to be what he has.
Exactly.
Find out who you are and then be the LeBron James of what you're called to be, you know? I'm low-key, I've been thinking about becoming like the mayor, like running for mayor out here.
Shit.
I mean, especially with everything happening, like with, you know, grandpa and stuff like that, how powerful he is. Like, we literally have a legacy in the state.
Bro, you should post a picture of how there was nothing but white people. And he was the only black person. And he wasn't even standing. He was sitting down. You know what I'm saying? With his legs crossed, like
chilling.
You know what I'm saying? But it's so true though. And he's shaking hands with the mayor. But it's like, how did he get to where he that? You know what I'm saying?
He was on the ground floor for so much, bro.
And it's like, you know, it's like, and it just goes to show you, even in the midst of times when it wasn't even unheard of in Reno, Nevada,
if he could do
the first black
if he could do that in Reno, Nevada, like
the first black man
crazy.
On the governor's cabinet, he made history, my dude.
It's crazy.
We like the Win is a powerful name. However, you know, it can be, you know, watered down because of us not carrying on it. You know what I'm saying? But when if you find the power and the passion and the drive to do it, and then you reignite the Wynn name, bro, there's the Wynn Hotel. Sometimes people are like, are you related? Oh, because my name is Morrison, but I know when I tell my mom Miss Wynn, they were like, is she related? No, you know, not related to the Wynn Hotel, but it's just a powerful name, my dude. You know, so you're right. Like, if you want to run for it, then run. Don't let nobody else tell you what to do. You know, if you feel like you want to jump off this bridge, do it. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you felt led to do, you know, I wouldn't suggest it. But if you feel so passionate about doing that, then by all means, my dude, for real, do it. If you feel like it's going to be a fulfilling, you know, thing to you. But the thing is, like, you know, so it's true.
You're right, bro. It's true. I might drinking a lot of water. It's like,
I know. Well, I'm thirsty a little bit.
Oh, your lips kind of dry. Want some Vaseline?
That's just how it is.
No Vaseline, just like Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Let him be chat, baby.
No, man, but I think this is a really necessary conversation, though. You know, and I think a lot of people. I'm really glad to talk to you, because I'm talking to you the same way I talk to my wife about a lot of different issues. It's because a lot of people don't. If I talk to a Democrat about how I view life, they're closed-minded, because if you only see your life from one side, you'll never be able to see both standpoints.
Exactly.
If you think that, and a lot of Christians did this, which is, we're good. Matter of fact, a lot of denominations, we're Kojic. Yeah. Anybody not Kojic is going to hell. Yeah. My wife's organization, you know, we're apostolic. Yeah. Anybody else not doing whatever we are, they're going to hell.
Which is why I say religion separates a lot of people.
Yeah.
Bro.
So it's like we're so close-minded to anybody who has a slightly different idea than us, and it causes us to be so divisive to the point where how can we ever accomplish anything?
That's why I listen to Minister Farrakhan a lot, bro. And even still, I still listen to Michael Todd too, you know? Yeah, but a lot of people people don't do is they don't remove themselves from situations and see it from a different point of view. A lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people lack empathy. Yeah. A lot of people, you know, and that's what's going on even with the racism stuff. I don't need to go through a situation as far as like the Mexican kids being caught up in these, you know, these
to
cages,
understand how crappy that is.
To understand how crappy it is. It's wrong. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't need to be locked in the cage to understand that.
It's stupid, bro.
Some people have to see, like, have it happen to them.
It literally has to happen.
And then oh my God,
this is happening.
Oh my gosh, brother.
That's why it became so big. It's like, oh my gosh, they're looking on the phone. This is happening. It happened on TV like 20 years ago.
I'm telling you, my dude, it's been happening.
All this stuff. It's crazy, bro.
And that's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. And people lack empathy.
And that's so important, bro, because a lot of like woke white people, they're more sympathizing than even having empathy. You know, it's this weird thing where it's like they think, oh yeah, because I'm Democratic, I'm voting for Biden, all this stuff, that they get it, but they really don't get it. You know, and I see a lot of people in the media who are like, they literally just missed the mark.
But it's not even for them to get. And I don't even mean to cut you off. It's not even for everybody to get. It's like, I will never understand how it is to be an Indian person, but I treat them, you know. I'll treat them like a human being. I will never understand how it is to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? But I'll treat women accordingly.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's like you don't have to like you have to see it from a different point of view, you know? Even though that's how they are, you don't have to disagree with it. Exactly. You know? Yeah. Like, that's what it is. And just pray that God changes them. Like, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. It's not by damning you to hell and all this other stuff. Jesus was preaching love, my dude.
He was damning the Christians.
Turn the tables in the church, because they was trying to make a profit out of it. And what do you think is happening with some of the mega churches too, bro? And it's like a lot of people that think we're scarcely making it in. Yeah. Because we don't even know, and we don't even know how to pray. We have to ask, you know, the Holy Spirit has to intervene on our behalf. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And these people, like I said, man, it all goes back to like the Bible, bro. Like you really have to understand like the Bible. And if you don't know the King James version, get you the NIV, something that's simple that can break it down for you. And I know that's not what we were here to talk about, but it really is the truth, bro.
It's a dope
It's
point.
the real truth, man. And it's like you don't even have to be like somebody had posted, you know, I don't know more tradition, give me Bible. And I'm like, I feel that, you know. At the same time, you have to be willing to die daily, because there's things that I know is not right with me, and I know that when I read the Bible I get convicted and I try to change it. You know, I don't need nobody telling me that you gonna go to hell, because we don't have a heaven or hell to put nobody in.
Bro.
So therefore, what the Christians saying, the Kojic and like everybody else is going to hell, the Baptists, they, you know, but we judging, and we shouldn't be judging.
Exactly. It completely destroys the entire focus
without
of it.
sin cast the first stone.
Yeah.
We all got sin.
Period.
Ain't nobody perfect. Everybody got something that they hiding from, whether it be weed, being gay, whether it be drinking, whether it be fornicating. Everybody is struggling, you know, because we need Jesus. That's when it goes back to us depending on him.
Exactly.
That's really what it boils down to. All this other stuff is irrelevant, my guy, by God's grace and his mercy, because back in the day, we would have all been dead.
Yeah. It was impossible.
It was
impossible.
Imagine. It was impossible.
I think about how like the population just got so much bigger, and like, you know, like, it's crazy, bro. It was, I think God is so mindful of us, and it's crazy how like, it's almost like God, he had empathy for us because he came down for us. And then he actually did walk in our shoes, you know? Like, it's crazy. It's just crazy the grace that he's had and how he decided, literally, as hard as life was, because I think low-key Christians do wish that it was back in when Judaism was first started.
Why do you say that?
Because we love to cast stones. We love to cast judgment. We love to do this stuff.
They would have been throwing stones.
Yeah, bro. I'm saying, like,
so
one of my homegirls, she was pregnant. She would help out the church. She got pregnant out of wedlock or whatever. She goes to the church, and the first lady's like, "No, you can't sing or whatever." I'm like, Christians love to make you feel guilty for something you are already guilty of.
Yeah,
they love to do that, and
Facts.
it's like, I don't get that whole mentality of, like, okay, you made a mistake.
Yeah.
You know it. I know it.
Yeah.
I know you feel bad about it. Me saying anything is just going to make you put the blame on me.
Very true.
See, this is why I don't mess with Christians. Like, I'd rather help somebody be like, okay, how do you feel, bro? Like, you all right, than help pull somebody up versus casting judgment, making them feel worse.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't realize when I was younger, that's low-key what it seemed like we were taught was like, if somebody disappoints you, express that disappointment to them. Make sure that they know that you're disappointed in that decision that they made. But it's like, why do you have to do that? You can acknowledge it, but it's like, yo, okay, time to get back up. And I'm really blessed because I've seen how my parents have transitioned, like hardcore Kojic, but then kind of like seeing God get involved, and the grace that they've shown me through all the things that that have happened to me. Like, it opened up my mindset to where, like, now I realize, like, okay, God is different than what, like these religious dogmas are and stuff like that. It's different than how people want to, like, just, constantly cast stones, constantly make you feel it. It's like, no, if somebody made a mistake, if I make a mistake, I'm the worst person. There ain't nothing you're going to do. You ain't going to kill me. That's the only, you ain't going to kill me for a mistake, but I'm the one who have to go to sleep with that at night.
Exactly.
So if I come to you with that mistake, can you help me? Because I want to kill my own self,
That's very true. That's very true. I think that and if you are feeling convicted, it's one thing to feel convicted and want to change your sin versus lying in your sin too. You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways too, because I know it would have been different if she like, girl, you on your 4th child.
No, yeah, exactly.
And where's the baby daddy? You just can't keep your legs closed.
Exactly.
It's maybe best that you just sit down.
Yeah.
Versus this is the first time. Oh, we understand.
First time she's a guest.
You know
there.
what I'm saying?
Like,
And this but people, like I said, it goes back to people don't like to see things from other point of views. People cannot remove themselves from their point of view to see it from somebody else's.
And the sad part is God's going to end up taking those people through stuff, and then we're going to see how they handle it, Like, oh, now they get it. It's crazy. I think the most disappointing thing about just church is like seeing how people just fall off, know?
But you want to know too, but a lot of people in church, like, I am not a fan of people recording in church.
Yeah.
That's unless the pastor is recording the message and he's selling it, but it's going to be put out to the congregation.
Yeah.
People don't understand about speaking in tongues. So they think and they like, oh my gosh, and then they make a mockery of it. I've never seen a mosque being recorded. I've never seen a Buddhist temple being recorded. I've never seen, any other type of, Jewish, like things, because it's sacred to them. We are the only ones that think it's funny that somebody's doing a praise dance and they're messing up, or look at this person shouting and his hair fall. Like, we are the only ones that will clown and laugh. And I don't think that that's funny, man. Yeah. Because then what are we showing that, and we're posting it, and then people just think that it's a big old joke.
Come to our church.
And they see it already. And it's like, why am I going to go there when y'all already laughing?
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, we have done that too, like, and there was a time when people were coming to church because it wasn't no social media, because nobody was, recording stuff. Yeah. If you wanted the ministry, we have it on tapes back in the CDs and tapes on sale. Boom. And that was it. Mm-hmm. Now people are and it's like recording the whole and instead of just recording the message, they're recording even like the people shouting and all this other stuff, when I don't even want to be recorded. Me crying and me having an intimate moment with God. Like, bro, like, what's up with that? Mm-hmm. It's a warped situation, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think right now, I think in life in general, it just takes a lot of balance, and like God is literally the only thing that can balance us out.
Yeah, and that just goes back to, even like you said, the legacy of the church, man, it's falling by the wayside, bruh. Unfortunately.
What are you gonna do to help it?
Who?
You.
Dude, shoot.
I think we all have a mandate.
My mandate is pretty much telling people, look, get your because I don't believe everybody's called to be a pastor.
I'm not saying you gotta be a pastor.
I believe that, but then at the same time, I would go to church, but as far as like, because you want to know what it is, because I know that I'm not right. I know that if I am sitting there telling, like I said, we die daily, and I know that I couldn't be in no pulpit, but if somebody asked me something and they're really, then I would tell them, mm-hmm. because a lot of people be phony, a lot of people will be up here talking, singing, and then be smashing on every other person, or even be undercover, and that's the thing. And then like, it's so sad, bro, because, these are ministries, these are people that, and they're sheep, and you are, supposed to be their shepherd. And that's a big task, because the blood is all on your hands. Yeah. And that's a scary thing. I don't have kids because I can't even provide for myself, really. So imagine me trying to lead somebody else and I'm barely making it in. But it's like, but that's why it's not from me. I can just tell you, read your Bible, bro. That's the best I can tell you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you can, and you have to have God to take the scales off your eyes and reveal himself to you, and how because I had to learn who God is for myself by, I have been not being with my mom, being in situations in LA, being homeless almost, getting into it with my roommate, beating him up, and then having to figure out what I'm going to do with myself, and it's like, you have to depend on God, because I'm 400 miles from where my mom was and my dad was, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you really have to do for, you can, and the most I can do is just lead you, to like, hey, this is what you should possibly be doing, but that's it, man. So, but what are you, you got your music, you doing a lot, so.
And one thing, so I'm doing a lot. We got the brand Selflish. Mm-hmm. We're trying to push this message and push this podcast. I got the music going, working, still trying to just make moves and stuff like that. So I'm really seeing where God's trying to take us. But the last thing I want to talk about is, just establishing your own legacy, right? Mm-hmm. So what steps do you feel like you've already taken to establish your legacy?
To be honest with you, bro, I haven't. And that's the honest to God truth. The reason being is because, well, honestly, I guess just as far as tangibility goes, I have life insurance, but I don't have no kids to pass it down to. So I guess I would have to, I have my brother and my sisters, but that's pretty much it, But as far as, legacy goes, I'm trying to get property, like the tangibilities of stuff, man, because that's really what it's about. If your family don't have to worry, then they can succeed, because it's about you making the sacrifice, like you said, for the next one to flourish. Yeah. I might not see what's going on, but like Grandpa Willie, he didn't see apartments being built in his name. Yeah.
Crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here we are, like you said, 35 years, and his name is still being, because why? He was the first black man. Like, and the thing is, you can't compare yourself to that, you know, because that's a fool does that, and the Bible says that.
But you can like look at that model.
You can look at that model and use it as a blueprint and just be like, okay. But the thing is, for me, like I said, man, just as far as it goes, I'm just, you know, just trying to build, you know, I guess generational wealth. You know,
are you starting your podcast? Are you gonna do a podcast?
Well, that's what me and your brother was talking about doing. You know, trying to do something like that. You know, and just, you know, trying to figure it all out, bro. You know, because I'm glad that you're doing it. You're younger than me, and I went to school trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And
didn't you got journalism, right?
No, communication.
Okay.
With the emphasis
but you was trying to do
relations.
okay.
But I was trying to get into radio, and that's when I started doing modeling and stuff, trying to get into commercials and stuff like that, you know. But you know, that's pretty much, you know, what I am. Just trying to ask God to lead me in his will and stuff, you know. But as far as legacy goes, I pray that I am old enough and I see and I live a healthy age, and I'm able to make that build a legacy, you know, make something of myself than just working at a bank, you know what I'm saying?
Do you ever have a fear that, do you ever like, not fear, but do you ever get like a little worried about legacy? About
not so much legacy, but I do worried about not having a kid and dying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's the real life truth. I wonder about that, especially, you know, when I had, you know, there's been other situations where I had, you know, guns drawn on me, but that particular, like, just like that, just wondering, well, if this is my time to die, then what do I have to show for it? You know, at least I have a life insurance policy and they ain't got to worry about that, but that's about it, man. Yeah. You know, and like you said, people don't really think like that. They think of the now because they think they're gonna live forever. But bro, there's been a lot more people dying, in my opinion, it seems like, left and right. Yeah. You know, just the girl from Glee, accident. You know what I'm saying? A freak accident. Anything can happen, bro. Yeah. Tomorrow is really not promised.
Yeah, bro. And that's why people really need to start being selfish. Yeah. And really start making moves and doing what you feel like God has put into your heart to do, you know? Yeah. Because a lot of people are just stagnant and they're still. And unfortunately, there are people in church who are stagnant because of, you know, they're waiting on that, you know? And I'm going to say this, and I know it's an hour and 20. So there was this video I watched one time of like these people, they died and they were like in judgment or whatever. And God sees this pastor, and he's like, accountant Luther. So what are you talking about? I'm a pastor. Like, you know, I won souls. God said, I didn't call you to be a pastor. I called you to be an accountant. You would have won more souls doing what I called you to do than anything, you know? And it's like, that always stuck with me because it's just like, a lot of times we try to take like the images of what we see other people doing and we try to create a legacy from that, you know? But really it's like you said, you have to be in tune with what God really is trying to do in your life, because when you're in tune with that, you get contentment in knowing, hey, people may not agree with me, people may push back on this, but I know that this is what God wants me to do, you know, and that's all we can do at the end of the day.
That's truth. No arguments there, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being a part of the show.
Oh, man.
Today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So y'all tune in. I don't know when we're gonna post this, but I'll let you know when we do.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. But welcome, Greg. Tell us where to follow you.
Hey, Greg.
No, right here.
Oh. Hey, Greg. HEEEY.
No, can you do the @ so that we know you're not saying hi to somebody?
@ H 3 E's, so that's EEEY _GREG. You can follow me there.
Cool. And he's constantly posting stuff. So
somewhat. Or
if you like any bit of this conversation, follow him.
Yeah.
You'll get more of it.
You will.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, y'all. Peace out, Selflish.
Selflish.
All right.